future single picker here. Austin is here but refuses to grace his beautiful face on the camera.
I will not do it.
What you're about to see is some clips from Ireland thrifting. Thrifting didn't go as expected in Ireland, and that's okay. It doesn't always, you know, turn out that way. We hit a lot of country towns, a lot of small villages, and it did not supply the goods. However, we did go to Dublin, and Dublin redeemed the whole trip. So you'll see that in the next video.
Also, technically that is Ireland, so we did pick well in Ireland.
Yeah, we did pick well in Ireland, but what we expected midweek was to visit lots of little villages, and it would, you know, be great, and you would see a lot of like sort of Irish culture.
Yeah.
And be really like fun and like pubs and singing.
It rained lots.
It rained lots, and it wasn't very fruitful. However, there were a few points of interest which we have compiled into a short video, and this is me introducing said video. Okay. Side note, as our first trip in the van, we sort of like recce'd out what I call the teething issues, yeah, and sort of like trying a new method of filming and thrifting, etc. And we have some big plans coming forward into the end of the summer and the winter period, and hopefully that means less people and less touristy spots, if that makes sense. Ultimately, it is quite hard to thrift and film and like explain what we're doing and get good footage while places are, especially like tourist hotspots, are jam-ram, thank you ma'am. So hopefully by sort of doing this through the winter into the spring, that we'll be able to hit up a few more places and sort of, I don't know, we'll be able to make clearer videos for you. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Anyway, enjoy the next video, or the rest of the video, and we'll see you in the next one, which will be Dublin, and then it will resume to normal procedures, I believe. So yes, thank you for welcoming us back after another hiatus. We're back in Ireland, guys. I know.
It seems like, I was going to say it seems like we haven't released a video in like 65 years, but we haven't released a video in 65 years.
If anyone mentions it in the comments, I will be sad, so don't do it. We're going to pull our big girl pants up, and we're going to get better at uploading videos. Okay. This it deserves a commendable shout out.
It does.
I've never been in this shop. So we're in Drogheda, I believe it's pronounced, in Southern Ireland, just at the top of Dublin, just outside Dublin, the next sort of like big town up, if you will. And this is Marilyn's Vintage, and from what I can see from the window, that she offers a great selection of proper, what I would call true vintage designer pieces, as well as antiques and
Marilyn
stuff.
does her thing.
Yeah, there's some Chanel in there, there's some Gucci in there. We can see from the window. However, I believe it's an appointment only situation, or like ring the buzzer to get in.
Yes.
Every time we go, but
there's no one around, so we just kind of move.
We fail, okay?
Yeah.
So we headed to charity shops. There are a couple of charity shops here. This was what we wanted to talk about. So they have large window displays. This is a Vincent's, and it seems to be a thing common with Vincent's, as we find out later. But their window displays are only available to buy on Thursdays. You line up, it's first come, first serve. They price on the day. From what we could see, it was 95% obvious fakes. And I'm not talking about those cool, you know, the ones that are like A class. I'm talking obvious fakes.
There were some pieces which were, like Bethany said, authentic. Majority of it was fake. But once again, the whole kind of system basically was 9 o'clock on a Thursday, they open, you can queue, the first come, first serve situation, and you buy what you want. But we do mention that we do actually speak to the lady, the sales assistant later on, and she kind of explains it there and then. But we'll carry on talking about what we're looking at in store.
I actually generally like the idea of it. I think by doing like a window sale on a Thursday and making loads of money for the charity is super sick.
Yeah.
I just don't understand what they were selling, if that makes sense. Maybe there's a demand for it. Maybe it's not as policed as much in where we are. I don't know. In the UK, obviously, in England is illegal. But it's interesting nevertheless. We did find these though, and these are super, super, super cool. Austin, take it away.
These are an XL pair of lounge pants, basically. They are pyjamas, for want of a better word. These have become really popular in the last few years. Ralph have done these for years and years and years. In actual fact, these are late 90s, early 2000s, and they're dead stock from an original Ralph factory store. They've totally rebranded the factory stores now, and they're more like outlet stores, if you will, but they look kind of like full-price shops as opposed to kind of, off-price stock. Anyway, these were green with the kind of navy guy. We've sold plenty of these. These were XL. They were an oversized fit, and like I say, a lot of youngsters, inverted commas, or younger folk. I guess older folk can rock them as well, but in general, wear them almost like outside. Like pants or slacks or joggers or whatever you want to call them. But they've become very popular in the last few years, kind of the Depop crowd, if you will.
There are a couple of other pairs of the same sort of era trousers.
Yeah, these were, I think, the chinos.
Yeah, with the tags attached to them as well. So it was probably a drop-off on one person, or, maybe there used to be an outlet in Ireland specifically.
Yeah,
I don't know, we don't know.
I didn't think about that.
But it's very interesting, nevertheless. I think, to be honest with you, this was the start of the stores that started to bring thrifting back up, minus the unusual window situation, which I'm sure we'll talk about later on. I don't know. I obviously don't like the selling of fake items that aren't obviously marked as fake. I understand that they're trying to make money for charity, and I understand there is a demand for them, but I think they need to be clearly marked as either not authenticated or as counterfeit.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And I think because they can't do the latter, they obviously can't say we have a window full of fakes, guys, come and buy, right? That's because technically you say it's illegal, no matter what the situation. I think, like you say, sold as seen would cover it off. I'm not saying the charity shouldn't make any money. I'm not saying they should throw them in the bin or put them in landfill. What I'm saying is I think the buyers should know, because as we've had a lot of people recently actually message us with stuff to authenticate, and they bought them in a charity shop for top-end money, and they've been fakes. And they kind of, I don't know what to do. I feel bad about going to the charity shop and saying I want my money back. By the same token, I kind of feel like I've been duped.
Yeah, so it's an interesting conversation.
Put in the comments how you feel. And once again, no judgment here. We have our opinions. I'm sure you guys do too. So put what you feel. Like, I think it's a really important conversation. Even more so for us and what we do. I just think to get other people's opinions on that, I think it could be very interesting. So please drop a comment and let us know what you think.
So this shop was quite big, actually. They had two of these on the streets. They had a smaller one up the top. I don't know if we got any of that on film. And they had this one. Now, they have pound rail, euro
This was
rails.
a euro rail, yeah.
Yeah, so it works out about, I don't know, like 85 pence for us. I am not a bureau de change. Do not come at me in the comments. If that is not
it's less than a quid, guys.
conversion.
Chill.
And Austin did find one thing at the back of the rail. Because the finds weren't readily available. We had to hunt. It was a lot of supermarket brands. There's a chain of stores called Dunn's in the UK, in Ireland.
Yep.
And there's a lot of that merchandise here. Not in the shop, but in general in Ireland.
Yes, it's true.
So this is €1. So this is high use or high tech. I don't know which one it is.
I feel like it's high tech, but I might be wrong, so don't quote me.
By Claire Campbell. When you're listing this, a great thing to put is by Claire Campbell. So the brand itself has many different offshoots. There's high tech, high use, high men, high.
I'll put a couple logos up here so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, but when searching on eBay, what I found is most things are listed by Claire Campbell, and that just widens your search for people that are looking for, might just type in Claire Campbell, or searching for anything from the range. So all of the highs.
Yeah, I agree.
Rather than just high use or high tech. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because sometimes I think people can put that in. There's so many different, just brands, and from batteries to for whatever. Anyway, going back to what we were just saying, these are Sebagos, a classic pair of Sebago boat shoes. They were great condition, just needed a sole clean, really. They were kind of like an orangey yellow and a beige, and they were €5. So once again, a steal, really. These retail for anything between 80 to 150, depending on the actual model you buy.
It's great to get this shoe kind of listed in the summer months. Timberland make a version of it, obviously, and there's a few other companies like Sperry, for example.
Yeah, they're a good one, actually.
They make these boat deck shoes, great for summer, and great for people on yachts and are doing boating, which is obviously more of a summer thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and once again, I think those Sebago and Sperry, as you say, are synonymous with that kind of boat shoe. That's what they're known for.
100%.
Hello. I'll take those, please. Can I have a look in the window, if that's okay?
The window sale is on Thursday morning at 9:30.
So that's not available today?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're
They're
not
not
here.
even priced or anything like
Oh,
that.
I
so,
see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how it works. Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
On a side note, 10 out of 10 for decor.
It was
like,
a great one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like they had black paint in the back, so it was like halfway between like an abandoned nightclub and like the coolest independent boutique in the world. It was like it was so fun. Do you know what I mean?
I do indeed. Bethany, for some reason, looking at soft toys.
It was a frog squishmallow. I needed the mum points, all right?
What I was going to say just quickly before we go in, this is the same situation with this window.
Yes.
So you can see various items. Apparently from certain brands. What I was going to say with the original one, we actually wanted to see, with that, when I mentioned to that lady, we actually wanted to see a Burberry knit they had in the window, which was
Yes.
100% authentic. So once again, it wasn't all necessarily fakes, but it was just the fact that they had quite a few counterfeit pieces.
I would say 99% of the handbags and shoes.
Yeah, agreed.
If that makes sense. And then there was like some football shirts, there was some Nike stuff, some trainers, which were obviously all above board. It was just the more high-end designer stuff that was a bit...
Agreed. This video was more to show you that kind of concept than anything else, because we do have, after this video, I think Bethany's already mentioned, that we're going to be showing you the Dublin video, which was like whole crazy. We got some amazing stuff from Dublin, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I just wanted to know I wanted to open a dialogue, really, because I'm interested in this concept of this window shop.
Yeah, ignore the fake side of it for the second.
Yeah.
Say they were all like 100% authentic products. What do you think of that as a?
Well, I know that some charities watch these videos. I don't know which charities they are, but I know some do, and employees and, workers, etc.
Managers.
And I actually think the concept of having a sort of like pop-up sale, I know there are a couple of charities that do have like outlet sales or have actually outlet shops.
That once again was a bootleg, I'm afraid.
Have these like pop-up sales. I know there's one local to us that every now and then they have a warehouse sale and they open their warehouse up and have do fill a bag for £10 or anything like that.
These different kind of gimmicks, you mean?
Yeah. But I actually thought the idea of like collecting up
the best bits, if you want.
Yeah, and doing like it, not even once a week. I know once a week is a lot of work and a lot of like marketing, etc., so on and so forth. But it's just a fun thing. I thought it was a fun thing and I'd never seen before, especially in this charity shop culture, because I find personally that every time we come to Ireland, the culture of charity shop shopping and it being cool and sustainable
It's so different.
It's so different to in the UK.
Oh, 100%.
In the UK, like even London, there's like high-end boutiques that are charity shops. They're proper charity shops, but they sell like the highest of luxury items. And they're
massive money too. Their prices are crazy too.
And then there's obviously the Ma and Pa shops, I call them. Like, you know, like the proper independent charity shops that is sort of like...
And if Vera has a cough, it's going to be closed all week.
Yeah.
You know?
It's those sort of things. And I find it interesting, the more we travel, the different like sort of like traditions or what's the word?
Customs
that the different shops have. But this time charity shopping in Ireland wasn't our most successful time until we hit Dublin. Dublin we did really well in. And we were kind of avoiding Dublin because we thought it'd be really busy. And most inner city charity shops are very expensive.
Well, usually, to be quite frank, we do, like, as most of you guys don't know, we're kind of very rural as regards where we live. And we do a lot better in those rural areas and small towns than we do in the large cities. Like, for example, Bath and Bristol. Mm-hmm. However, I mean, it was so different here. So it was just really interesting as a trip. But like I say, coming within the next 24 hours, you will have the Dublin.
We're going to double you up just so...
Double Dublin.
So you don't feel like we fobbed you off.
Bye.